Yo, what up? What up? What up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share. So we get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world you could be, but you chose to be right here with me, the BABGOG. And I appreciate you pull up on me. What's going on, man? Sorry, everybody, man. Happy pre-Thanksgiving Eve, or however the hell you want to say it, right? All right. Make sure y'all safe out there, man. All right. No, don't drink and drive. If you go ride anything, wear protection. All right. Let's get into it. Now, let me first and foremost formally apologize. I can't recall if I directly quoted this stat, but I know I often talk about how Black people, we overrepresent in certain things when it comes to crime, right? So let me, again, formally apologize if I did quote this stat, because the stat is false. Let's just get that out there right now, okay? I'm in my bag because, listen, this Black fatigue thing is getting out of hand, right? And the reason it's getting out of hand because it goes against my fundamental principle on this platform of protecting and improving the image of straight Black men, right? So I can't be for improving the image of straight Black men and then allow be it racist, be it ignorance, be it race baiters, be it grifters, be it whoever, to lie on Black men about something that just isn't fucking true at all. And I don't know when the last time it's been true, because, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm like, hold on, man. First thing that came to mind, because, you know, the FBI stopped doing, making the reports like they did, or at least setting the tables up how they set them up in 2019 because of the complaints and so on and so forth. So now it takes a little bit more digging for you to get into the information, all these different things. But either way it goes, right? Black people as a whole, or Black men, and it couldn't be Black men without Black people, because if Black people don't account for 50% of the crime, there's no way that Black men account for 50% of the crime either, right? So this whole 1350 shit is propaganda, right? To make Black men look bad. And if you are a Black man out here repeating this shit ignorantly, okay, please stop. Maliciously, please stop. Because I, as I have done plenty of other times, and, you know, going into these things, you know what I'm saying, about to show you how this is just simply not true, and how purposely the most vile, most disgusting, most despicable of crime is never ever talked about in this country. And those are sex crimes and crimes against children, which is crazy to me, because everybody's so, you know, concerned with the Epstein files, right? Because, you know, children were violated, and, you know, these grown men dealing with children, but all those grown men were what? What would anyone care to tell me what those grown men were? I don't remember one black man even being considered or talked about on the Epstein list. But however it goes, right? It's crazy to me that whenever we talk about violent crime, the first thing everybody want to goes to is gang banging, gang banging. Shout out to Smokey Robinson, right? Which again, that's a bad thing, right? But on the list of most despicable, most disgusting, most, hey, find your nearest wood chipper related crimes, I think would be hands down agreed upon adults abusing children in a sexual manner, and then people forcing other people into sexual acts against their will. I think those two are at the top of the list, right? But somehow, some way, we only want to focus on, the turning the gun sideways and the switches and all this other shit. No, whoa. Yeah, those things are bad, indeed, right? But most importantly, we're never going to eliminate all crime, right? And it's interesting what I've come to see here now, man, bro. The per capita argument is it's full of shit, dog. All right, fuck it. Per capita argument for white people, full of shit. You know why? Because it's damn near 5 times more fucking white people than black people. So you're always going to win the per capita argument, right? Because your pool is 5 times bigger. And if you really want to talk about per capita, y'all don't ever talk about the Native Americans. Native Americans, if we really did per capita numbers on them, their shit would be higher than everybody else's. They're only 3% of the population, which we're going to get into later, especially when it comes to these, again, crimes against children and, sex crimes. So, again, I need the white person, your Matt Walsh's, your, whoever else that's out here that wants to, Steven Crowder even, right? That wants to regurgitate this lie, show us the numbers to prove it, because I'm about to. Show us the numbers to where the 13% is 50% of the crime. And if you're talking about all crime, we know that's not the case, because there are certain things and certain crimes, that white people are going to excel in the most. Again, the most vile crimes, again, crimes against children, child sexual material, which is illegal, forcing people in the sex act they don't want to commit, they don't agree to be in. Those are all white dominant crimes and the most violent of the most violent. Why are we not focusing on those? Why do we skip to gun violence, robbery, gang violence? Whoa. We can get to that, but let's talk about the most vile, the most violent, the unforgivable, the never excusable crimes against children of a sexual manner. Okay. And then forcing other people into sex acts that they don't agree to be within. Okay. And I mean, I don't really want to talk about the animal crimes. It's crazy how y'all mad at Mike Vick for what he did to them pit bulls, but y'all don't want to talk about what y'all be doing to y'all pit bulls. Just saying. Just saying, white folks. I mean, y'all mad at Michael Vick. Y'all never gonna let Michael Vick live down what he did to them damn dogs. But do I got news for you about what white people be doing to them damn dogs. Just saying. But let's get into it. And first start here, man. Let's see. Meantime, 20 time, man. Hit the like button, 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 hit the like button. Please and thank you. Gang banging. Now, shout out to MRM. MRM covered this story that I hadn't even heard about, and it just goes to show you, right, how modern Renaissance man, right? He covered the story. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. Let him tell you. There was this evil, and mind you, listen, any crime is bad, right? Again, condolences and prayers go out to the young lady that was set on fire by the fucking lunatic in Chicago, right? But it's crazy. And shout out to Hamp and shout out to Tommy, right? Because they showed the thing in where the young girl was stabbed on the train. The black girl was stabbed on the train a few years back, and it was actually on camera. It was on camera, but it never made national news. It was never this uproar. It was never this big thing or whatnot, what have you, right? And it goes to show you, I think what we're coming to see is, man, a lot of this shit is purposeful media psyops. This black fatigue shit, bro. That's some shit we've been talking about for quite some time. And again, I keep telling you, it's not black fatigue, it's nigga fatigue. Okay, but white people, of course, can't say nigga, so you know they gotta stick with that. But let me see. No, Renaissance man. Let me see. MRM. No, god damn it. Let me see. There we go. Let's see. MRM. Where's it at? Where's it at? How the fuck is it at, man? I just saw it. Can't be now though. It was like a couple days ago. Let me see. Let me do it this way. It was like Brian something. Wait a second. No. There we go. Here it is, right here. Why did this not make national news? Why did none of us hear about this? Okay. This is real life time to kill type shit. Child rapist and killer Robert Fisher dead in New York prison. Hey, shout out. Hey, man, listen. This is the honorary murder man dance. Shout out to the men in prison that did the Lord's work. This is for y'all.
Take off, record. Real more shit, man. That's why more bodies, man. Done more bodies right now, man. That real more shit, man. G up in the building, man.
Hey, man, shout out to the murder mans, man. Shout out to the murder mans that did the Lord work in this situation right here. Shout out to my man Reggie. Greatly appreciate you, brother, for becoming a new member. Shout out to Reggie for becoming a new member again, brother. Hey, man, doubling up on the memberships and upgrading, brother. I greatly appreciate you, brother.
Ain't nothing but some money.
Child rapist and killer Robert Fisher dead in New York prison. Fisher, who pleaded guilty to rape and murder in 2023 of 3-year-old Ren Sailor girl, died Tuesday in Elmira Correctional Facilities corrections officials said.
Child rapist and killer Robert Fisher dead in New York prison. Written by Mike Goodwin. This article is being read by an automated voice generated by Everlit. Update. Child killer Robert Fisher, one of 2 sex offenders to die October 22nd in Elmira prison. Robert Fisher, the man who drugged, raped, and killed a 3-year-old girl last year in Rensselaer, died.
Now, this was a little black girl. This was a white man that raped and drugged a 3-year-old black girl, toddler. Okay? Never heard about this story. Never heard of it.
Tuesday at Elmira Correctional Facility, according to the State Department of Corrections and Community Services. Fisher died less than 2 months after a Rensselaer County judge sentenced him to 20 years to life in prison for the rape and slaying of Josephina Cunningham. Fisher, 34, was pronounced dead at 1:50 a.m., according to DOCCS. A spokesman for the agency declined to discuss how Fisher died, referring instead to a DOCCS statement that the cause of death would be determined by the Chemung County Medical Examiner's Office, and it was up to that agency to decide whether to reveal it. Fisher had been in state prison since September 23rd. The child's death on July 7, 2023, in her Rensselaer City home traumatized her family, friends, the community of Rensselaer, and the police, firefighters, and other first responders who answered the emergency call. Fisher drugged the child with her mother's medication, attacked her, and tried to cover up what he had done, prosecutors said at his September 10th sentencing. Fisher.
They say that whatever he used to drug the little girl, man, that he tried to clean up the evidence or whatever. He wiped her face so hard he pretty much rubbed the skin off her face. Okay. Right.
Fisher had befriended the child's mother, and prosecutors said the child was left in his care on the day she died.
Keep telling y'all, ladies, please, 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 man. These predators target. We were just talking about this last night, man. Shout out to Tommy. Right. Predators target children with no fathers present. Okay. Predators target children with no fathers present. You should never let some man come around you and, for one, ever get around your kids. There's no reason. Okay. One of the biggest tales of you being an ain't shit piece of shit mother is every nigga you deal with, your kids deal with too. You putting your kids in danger. Joel Breezy, no, he don't want that. Again, that's what I'm talking about. And it's crazy to me how we talk about this 1350 shit, but we don't talk about how motherfucking white people, bro, when it comes to that shit, bro, they like 60, 70%.
During the sentencing, Rensselaer County Assistant District Attorney Antonia Edwards said Fisher used Clorox wipes to try to conceal his crimes, scrubbing the child's face so hard he rubbed off the pigment.
Bro, this is a little black girl, by the way. Mind you, this is a little black girl, by the way. He rubbed her skin off her face, trying to cover up the evidence, man.
Edwards described the victim as a loving and caring child. She had a smile that would light up a room. Her teacher said at daycare she would pretend to be a teacher. She would line the baby dolls up and pretend to read to them.
Well, no, we can talk about per capita, but we're going to talk about per capita. We got to put it in its proper. We got to put it in its proper context. How white people are never going to be. White people can never be in the negative in per capita because they outnumber everybody by at least 4 times. White people outnumber us by 4 times, Freedmans. So if they outnumber us by 4 times, how can they ever lose in a per capita argument? When the pool exceeds the other pool by so much, the per capita is going to always be in their favor. So if we're going to talk about it, that's what I'm talking about today. We're going to bring light to. If your pool is damn near 5 times my pool, it's going to be incredibly difficult for me to ever. It's not going to be anything you can do unless it's 0 at anybody else for a per capita argument to exist. Literally, there have to be little to no participants of any other group if you outnumber everybody else by 5 times, not double, not triple, 5 times. You're never going to be in a per capita conversation that way. That's just mathematically impossible.
And to feed them. She had very nurturing qualities. She was a girly girl. In July, Fisher pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and first-degree rape. Judge Debra Young called Fisher a threat to society. You show no remorse for what you did to Josie. The judge told Fisher he will never be fit to live in the community, adding he hoped any future parole board considering his release from prison would study the sentencing records and...
No need. Again, shout out to the wonderful people in the correctional facility in Elmira. Was it Elmira, New York? Elmira Correctional Facility. Shout out to y'all, man. Hey, if you give me that information, I will put money on their books. I promise you, on my life. All right. You get me the information of whoever or whatever, or how to send a JPay or whatever. Let me know, bro. Hey, I'm sending it. Doing the Lord's work.
Every day see you at the
other court records and deem him unfit for release. Asked if he wanted to address the court, Fisher muttered, "Number." Fisher's former defense attorney, Lucas G. Mhuda, could not be reached for comment Thursday. Shamon County Assistant District Attorney Ann H. Stark said the office was awaiting the findings of the medical examiner's office to determine if prosecutors had any role to play. Officials in the medical examiner's office could not be reached for comment. Rensselaer Police Department investigated the 2023 murder. Chief Warren Famiglietti said his department had not been told Fisher died. In a Facebook post, Famiglietti said commenters on social media were expressing joy and relief from the news of his death. Being careful not to express my personal beliefs on a professional platform, I will say that I would find it impossible to compose a rational, articulate argument in opposition of those expressing relief, he said. He went on to note the hard work of those involved.
Hey, man, shout out. Hey, base fucking. Shout out to him. He said, hey. I'm in an official capacity, so I therefore cannot celebrate and whatever. I will keep my own feelings to myself. But I will say for those people that are celebrating, I see nothing wrong. It's good. Shout out to him, man. White people. Why do we jump immediately to the Bloods, the Crips, the Vice Lords, the GDs, the BDs, and we skip over shit like this that y'all blow everybody else out of the water in? This was a toddler. It was a 3-year-old, a grown piece of shit white man. See his face? That's a white man. Y'all don't want to talk about that per capita though, huh? Y'all don't want to talk about this violent crime though, huh?
Involved in the investigation before concluding, it appears that justice was ultimately served by a power much greater. I hope that all people affected by this horrific crime can now begin the next step of the healing process. WNYT Channel 13 reported on Fisher's death Wednesday evening.
Yeah, man, get him out of here, man. Shout out to the prisoners for taking their trash out, man. Who said ain't no honor amongst thieves? All right. And how you know this shit is something, even in the prison system, man, those people You know what I mean? Those people that commit those crimes are treated as less than human. Okay? Even the criminals say, hey, these motherfuckers right here, no go. But let's get into these numbers, man, because it's funny to me, right? Now, we're going to start where it all started, where everybody used, even myself, right? The infamous 2019 Table 43 FBI crime in the United States statistics, right? Criminal Justice Information Service Division. Let me put the link in the chat. So, he's photoshopped that. He altered it. He did. Let me put the link in the chat for you right there. If you want to look at it for yourself, you can look at it for yourself, right? Table 43, arrests. Well, we're not talking. Well, you have to talk about arrests are going to be proportionate to convictions. Okay. You're never going to have more convictions than arrests, and your convictions are going to be somewhere percentage wise similar to those arrests, and that trend is going to be the same across the board. Okay. Now, as you can see here, right, and I know this is big enough. Pause. This says total, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you see this says total. Total arrests. Okay, it's just arrests. 6,816,975 total arrests in 2019. 2019, 6,816,975 total arrests. Now, let's pause real quick. Let's go to our good trusty Google. Let's do some real-time math. Let's do some real-time mathing. Now, what was it? 600, 6816975. 6816975. Hold up. 6816975. Yep. There we go. Divided by black people says, well, let's just do divided by 2. That would be 50%, right? And that says 3,408,487.5. That would be 3,408,487 would be 50%. Now, put a 1 if you've seen this, right? Everybody's got this. We recorded it. 3,408,487.5. Okay. Now let's go back to the table and let's see. Do black people come up as 3 million? $408,487? Well, it says right here, black African American. And logically, I just said what, right? We know this is true. There's no way that you can have more convictions than arrests. So what number do you see here? Does this say 3,408,475? Let me make it a little larger so everybody can see it. Go even bigger, right? Does this number say 3,408,475? Matter of fact, it's close to half of half. Damn near close. Damn near 50% or 50%, which would be 25%, right? Total crime, total arrest. So now let's do this math. Let's just see, right? Hey man. Well, I mean, white is way more than 50%. Because like I said, that I ain't even thinking about that. Shout out to Robert. Listen, white is more than 50%. But what they gonna say again, they're gonna use a per capita argument. Well, per capita. You know what I'm saying? Per capita. Oh, I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Ray, something wrong with your what's name, brother? I'm not muted, brother. I'm not muted. Shout out to Robert Platinum for pointing that out as to where white people are over half. Because if half is 3,408,487, and y'all got damn near a million more arrests. Well, definitely a million more arrests. What are we talking about? Yeah, is that that's we hey, brother, that's what we figuring out, man. Where's the 50%? The 50% shit is dead already, off rip. These are total arrests. Okay? Total arrests, 2019. We go jump to 2023 here soon because that's old data. We go, okay, I got you. Right? But total arrests are 25%. Where are we getting this 50% of the crime? When? Jesse Lee, can you give us that, please? Can you give us that 1 year? And if I was guessing, I would say it would have been somewhere around the crack epidemic, crack era, early 80s. I mean, late 80s, early 90s. If I took a wild guess, it couldn't have been that way anything past 2000. No fucking way. Did anybody have the year when allegedly? Oh, that's the white. That's the white, right? That's the white. And that's an overrepresentation in crime, by the way, because white people only make up 58% of the population. So per capita, white people are overrepresented in crime, chronically growing. That's what we're doing right there, right? I think that's the math. Well, no, it's not even violent crimes either. Silent Sir, that's what I'm saying too. So even and that's why I focus on that, Silent Sir. And I'm glad you pointed that out, right? Shout out to Silent Sir. Silent Sir, that can't be true. Because again, once we start talking about the parity of homicides and robbery and all this other shit, so on and so forth, are fairly close. When we start talking about arson, niggas ain't burning shit down. We start talking about crimes against children, niggas not participating in that. And we start talking about crimes against, sexually forcing people to do things, niggas not participating in that. We don't, that's not our bag. So even that, Silent Sir, is cap. That's why I always keep pointing. I want to add, like, why do we jump past the most vile of violent crimes and immediately go to gang violence and gun violence? No. But white people are 69.4% of all crimes, Jesse Lee. So Jesse Lee, if that's the case, the per capita argument, that's everybody's overrepresented. And then if you, like I said, the biggest per capita offenders would most likely be Native Americans, being they only make up 3% of the population. And then we know they have an extremely high thing when it comes to like DUIs and, domestic abuse. And again, we're going to get to it to where they overrepresent in sex crimes against minors also. So I'm just trying to figure out 2011 murders were offender race for knowns about 52.4% offenders were black. So that's murder only. Appreciate you, Jesse Lee, for that information. So in 2011, why are we talking about something from, what's that, 14 years ago now? This is how you know this is propaganda. This is how you know this is bullshit. This is 2019, 4 years ago. And as we said, there can never be more convictions than arrests, total arrests. And every arrest is not even a conviction. But let's just do it for the sake of the conversation, for the sake of the argument, right? We got 6 million total crimes, black, African American, are 1,815,144, which we said 50% of that would be, I think it was like 3,480,475, which is damn near half of half. So instead of black people being 50% of the crime, as they say, right? 50% of the crime. Well, see, look right here. Oh, look, I told you, murder, manslaughter. Look, it's more, 1,000 more than white people. Well, hold on. Now let's keep going. What I told you, you get right here. Damn near 3 times as much. 1,000 difference versus 3 times, damn near 2 point something times. What are we talking about? No. See, no, Jesse Lee, I can't let that happen, brother. Not today. Can't just be murders. No. Because Jesse Lee, I think even you, brother, as hard as you go against the, you hold black people accountable. Jesse Lee, and I know you're not the real Jesse Lee, but I'm pretty sure you align with Jesse Lee's principles. We'd all agree that child predators are the worst of the worst, the bottom of the bottom, the absolute most vile criminals on the planet. We will also agree that people that forced other people against their will to commit sex acts, participate in sexual activity beyond their will. We got to look at this, Jesse Lee. Listen, Jesse Lee, rape. Okay. 11,588 versus 4,427. Hey, some of these murders and manslaughter can be justified. You got a gun, I got a gun. I'd rather be judged by 12 to carry by 6. Hey, whatever happened. This rape shit, though, never. Never explanation for that. Ever. Burglary, aggravated assault, robbery, close. Look, all the things that we leading in is fairly close. 4,000, you know what I mean? 1,000, less than 1,000 actually, right? Look at this though. When it starts getting big, it's big. Damn near 3 times as much for rape. A 50,000 plus difference for aggravated assault, burglary, 3 times as much, damn near. Theft, larceny, double. Hell, car thief stealing cars. Yeah, we were talking about the kill boys like it was only the niggas doing it. Kill boys. Kill boys got 16,000. White boys gone in 60 seconds got damn near 40,000. Arson, niggas ain't burning up shit. That's more than double. Violent crime. Whoa. Jesse Lee, brother. Jesse Lee, brother. Jesse Lee, we got it right here, brothers, right here. Violent crime. 355,244. That ain't 50%, bro. Just quick math. 2 to 3 would be 1. Carry the 1 over. 2 to 15 would be 7. That's another one. So that'd be 177. 177,000 would be 50%, Jason Lee. 2019. Where the 50% shit coming from? So I'm doing both. And I've been reading the stats, brother. I was reading the stats back then. When I'm talking to y'all, I'm not worried about what the fuck white folks got going on. This is what I need y'all to understand, man. Listen, I can talk shit about you niggas because I'm niggas. I want us to do better. I need us to do better. I'm concerned with us fixing the things that we can fix. But I'm not about to let motherfucking white folks come in here and motherfucking walk by and talk shit too and jump in. This is not your shit. Especially when your shit way more fucked up than mine. And you purposely don't report on it. And you purposely put these fucking narratives out here like where gang violence and all this and gun violence, these fucking major issues, when even here the stats tell you fucking violent crime, not 50%. Okay. But the most vile crimes against children, nobody talks about unless we talk about Epstein. And like I said, I ain't even heard of one fucking black person being on the Epstein list, but possibly one. But they ain't even put him on there. Chronically Growing. Here you go, brother. This is 2019. I'll put it here for you. Chronically Growing. There you go. That's the stats for the 2019 FBI crime statistics. And you know, we're gonna jump forward to 2023, brother. We'll jump to 2023. Well, you know, those stats are a little dated. So I don't know why we're talking about 2019. Well, I use 2019 to show you this. What I know for a fact is that the fucking numbers didn't jump tremendously in 6 years. Actually, crime has gone down. Crime has gone down since 2020. I think you had like a spike going back up in the upward trend, and then crime went back down, right? And if we're comparing shit to the 80s, bro, this shit is not even close. Crime in the 80s and 90s, bro, scary. Now, as you can see, look, right? This goes to 2025 as what was this? 11/20. So this is current real time. Real time. Aggravated assault, it says right here, right? We can go to wherever you want to go to. And last time frame, last 5 years, right? So let's show the percentages. So aggravated assault, offender versus victim demographics, offender race, white, offender race, offender race, offender race, white, 43%, black or African American, 37%. I don't give a fuck about us overrepresenting. It's not 50%. Okay? Not 50%. This is what we talking about. The 13%, 50% shit is a lie. It's not true. And again, it is a cornered and fucking bullshit argument for per capita when you outnumber the other group by 5. There's going to be very, very few things that you overrepresent in when you have that much of a fucking pool larger than all other pools. Even though the pool that you guys do overrepresent in, somehow, some way, it never comes up. If anybody wants to challenge this, white, black, green, purple, polka dot, whatever, hey man, let me know. I will drop the link. We do this shit real time. Because we changing this shit. We stopping this today. This 13, 50% shit is over today. Now that's aggravated assault. Let's go down the list. Homicide. Now, again, we overrepresent. And we're at the top of homicide, but still not 50%. Close. Not 50%. Oh. Now, whoa. You see that disparity there? You see how it's not even close? How it's more than double? How when you talk about rape, white people are more than double the offenders of black people. Put a 1 in the chat if we can agree. If you think that rape or child rape is the most vile fucking crime that anybody can commit, put a 1. If you disagree, put a 2. Chat participation. I'm just trying to see where we're at because Pearl said, oh, I can go with that. I can deal with us being number 1 in rape. That's what Pearl said. I'll give you that one. I'll take that because most of the women are lying anyway. That's what Pearl said. Pearl said this on the record, y'all. Pearl on her motherfucking, her race baiting black fatigue panel, she said she will take white people being the number one rapers. Rapers and takers. She said she'll take it. One. I don't see no twos. White people, why we not talking about y'all being more than double the pussy crooks out here? That's a violent crime. We all agree that that's a violent crime, right? Now, trap participation. Do we all agree that rape is a violent crime? 1 for yes, 2 for no. White people, y'all need to worry about yourself. Remember that meme? Worry about yourself. Y'all got way more motherfucking issues and problems with way worse shit. For y'all to be motherfucking spreading this motherfucking 1350 bullshit and lie. We killing this shit today. Killing it today. The next time a white person comes to 1350, it's a lie. And let's talk about the motherfucking 53 to everybody else. Okay? Let's talk about y'all being more than double the rate than the highest next person. Oh, my bad, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to my man, Dick Thug in the building for the 5. Great appreciation, brother.
Ain't nothing but some money.
Do yellow versus white crimes on a global scale per capita doesn't sound all that appealing to them, then seeing how yellows are in the billions. Yeah, to my Asians, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. But we're talking global. We're not talking global. We're talking nationally, brother. But I appreciate you for the 5. Shout out to my man, Big Draws. For 5.
Ain't nothing but some money.
Rafael Antonio Perez, he was an LA cop in the 90s who implicated 70 other cops in bad conduct. Denzel modeled his portrayal of him in Training Day. Oh, okay. So that's who Alonzo was. That's who Alonzo was based upon, I'm guessing. Let's keep going. Robbery. Niggas got that one by a lot. 2023. Well, recent 5 years. So it's up until now. Arson. 35%. Non-specified. We know that's going to be mostly white. Black African American, 15%. Niggas ain't burning nothing down. More than double. More than double. We know a lot of that 35%. Niggas don't burn, niggas shoot. You gotta stick with the stereotypes. You can't try to run from the stereotype. Oh, all they do is they tote their guns and they point it sideways. Yeah, niggas tote guns and point sideways. Let's keep going. Burglary. Not specified. Still white, 24%. Unknown, 17%. Black African American. I'd probably give you a wash on that one. Niggas do break in shit. Niggas break into houses. But hey, it's way more white people. Larceny, theft. Not specified. White. Motor vehicle theft. Not specified. But you can go by the shit from what's the name. So basically what they stopped doing is, right? They stopped taking down the racial aspects of a lot of the information or the either that or the jurisdiction stopped reporting it because we've seen what it was on the FBI statistics in 2019, right? So you have to use that as a gauge to come up to now to see the differences in things and changes that have been made, right? Because we knew what they said it was like more than double more car thefts by white kids or white people, rather, not just kids, but white people than black in 2019, right? Do they have animal cruelty? Oh shit, my bad. Y'all can't really see this shit. My bad. Let me make it larger. Animal cruelty. Race, right? Last 5 years. What they say? And we know what's included in animal cruelty, right? It ain't just fighting dogs. It's another elf. Niggas be fighting dogs. Y'all be fucking them. You don't want to talk about that. Big boy, y'all mad at Michael Vick about fighting them dogs, but y'all don't never say nothing about these white folks fucking them. This is a fact. White people, y'all got y'all own shit to worry about. Hide your kids, hide your dogs. They raping everybody. This ain't propaganda. This ain't bullshit. This, look it up. Don't take this not gonna be on here, but look up person having, inappropriate contact with animal. See who come up. We did this like a couple months ago, remember? Assisting or promoting prostitution. Betting, wagering. Counterfeit, forgery. Uh-oh. Criminal sexual contact. Oh, man. Look, well, y'all got to see that now. Here we go. Here we go again. Put a one in the chat so I can make sure y'all can see this now. Criminal sexual contact. The worst of the worst violent crimes. That is 3 times as much. White people. The most violent and vile of crimes. What the fuck is we talking about? Why we want to talk about the gang banging and the guns? We want to talk about y'all touching these motherfuckers. Hey, taking that pussy. I'm saying, man. Drug equipment violations. Oh shit. I don't even know what this means. Probably something to do with a meth house or a pill farm. Drug equipment violations, 72% to 21%. We talking about all crimes, right? Drugs, narcotics. Oh my God. Wow. Even drugs and narcotics more than double? White people? Oh, we already know explosive violations. Come on, man. All this 19% is come on now. We niggas ain't blowing up nothing. All niggas is blowing off his fingers on motherfucking Memorial Day and 4th of July. The only explosions niggas got going on is improper handling of fireworks and they losing limbs. Ted Kaczynski, anyone? Y'all remember Ted Kaczynski, right? The fucking did they call him was it the Unabomber? Ted Kaczynski was a fucking genius. They pretty much went crazy. Instead of this motherfucker using his genius for some good shit or whatever, this motherfucker decided that motherfucker put explosive devices in the United States Postal Service system and blow people's fingers off and then graduate to actually killing people. Probably the most infamous explosives maker in the history of the country. Again, man, some of these crimes are just white crimes. Even crimes you thought was black crimes. Look, man, they say, hey, Drugs, narcotics violations is 63% to 30%. Don't argue with me. Argue with FBI. You can't be for stats and data, some of the time now. Espionage, niggas ain't spying on nothing. 100%. Spying, working for another country or some shit that's on and so forth. Niggas ain't got time for that. Niggas, oh no, getting away from around here. Explosive violation, extortion, blackmail, black African American 6%, 16% white, not specified. Again, that's not. Failure to register as a sex offender. Oh shit. Failure to register. And there we go. Who that say? Them feathers. Them feathers. Why we ain't talking about the feathers? Native Americans only make up like 3% of the population. The biggest per capita violators are going to be them. There are even more Asians here than Native Americans. But I don't hear them talking shit about, Cherokee, Choctaw, Blackfoot. None of that. Running Wolf. Light Cloud. None of that. Well, we know it ain't gonna be false citizenship. Ain't gonna be. I don't know what the hell going on with this. How the hell? Oh, I guess that's black or African American. How is that false citizenship? That's the niggas y'all talking about, the tethers or whatever. Federal liquor offenses. What I tell you? American Indian. You know what I'm saying? Anything to do with that liquor, we know. Hey, they can't hold it. Federal tobacco offenses. Damn, what white folks ain't even on this one. Hold on, I don't trust that one at all. What the hell is a federal tobacco offense? Oh, hacking? Come on now. What the hell you mean unspecified? Well, you actually can't track them, but ain't no niggas hacking nothing. Human trafficking, commercial sex acts, human trafficking, and voluntary servitude. Human trafficking and voluntary servitude. Yeah, bro, I don't even know. Yeah, silence her. Anything to do with liquor, they're gonna lose every time. Oh shit, hold on. Incest. Again, white people. Y'all got y'all own shit to worry about. Incest offenders, 74%. That's some per capita for your ass. Y'all never beating the allegations. Y'all never want to talk about them. Shit about y'all fucking your cousins and your close family members. We ain't gonna say nothing, but hell, you gotta say the kids too. 74% white people. Y'all only make up 58.4% of the population. Now, niggas, we definitely. I'm listen. I'm the 14% nigga. I'm not cool with this at all. Hell going on here. We gotta fix this shit. Y'all out here taking this kissing cousin shit too far. Yo, what the hell we doing, man? We don't hear the voluntary fucking a celebratory murder man dance for the piece of shit that got killed for, unfortunately unaliving and violating a young black girl. Y'all still can't hit the like button, man. If you like, you still kill. What the fuck is going on, man? Hit the like button if you will, man. What the fuck we got going on here? Hit the like button, man. It's free.
Take off, record. Real more shit, man. That's why more bodies, man. Done more bodies right now, man. That real more shit, man. G up in the building, man.
Yeah, man. Incest. Again, white people. Never beating the allegations, man. Justifiable homicide. Justifiable homicide. So murder and non-negligence manslaughter, 45 to 30. Black people. Negligent manslaughter, white people, 60%. More than 2 times. And that goes to what we were talking about here, man. So this is a report that I just seen here from, let's see where it is. Oh, that's not it. Damn. I just had this shit in it. No, that's not it. So they had a thing about the sentencing. So I just had it in it. That shit left. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Can't find it. Well, shit, I don't need to talk about it. So what happens is this, man. Right? And with the in light of the thing that we see where a lot of these pages on Twitter have been exposed as being foreign entities and things. The only problem with this one is this is a foreign entity, bro. This has always been done with the media here, right? Again, I am not taking away any of the atrocities and things that were committed by evil, vile piece of shit people that happened to be black, right? I'm not taking away from that. The situation in Chicago with the girl getting burned. Again, thoughts and prayers out to her. But to act like that's the norm, right? And again, we never get talked about for the white person that's been released. I don't know how many times, and that's the thing that's being looked at, because I know for a fact there's a white person that has a rap sheet just as long or longer than a lot of these individuals, and because again they're white, the shit never makes the news. If a white person does something against a white person, it doesn't make the news. Just like if a black person does something against a black person, it doesn't make the news. The unfortunate part of it is these attacks have been where there have been black men against white women. So of course that's going to make headlines and news. And then especially if it's something to where it results in death or, extremely close to it. Right. And again, I'm not taking away from the severity of those actions. And I believe they should be executed for that. Stand on that. Just like if a white man did it to a black woman, it's the same across the board with me. I'm not playing this, because a white person did it, it's worse because a black person didn't. No, I don't play those games. Y'all know me, right? The thing with me is I can have this conversation honestly on either side because that's the way the conversation needs to be had. Unfortunately, this whole race baiting thing is coming along with political, along with the gender war, and there's a lot of divisiveness that's out here right now purposely. that's trying to drive apart the country. I keep telling y'all, man, getting in my tinfoil hat for a little minute. They need America out the way. The American dream, the American way, the American philosophy, you know what I'm saying? All these things, bro, you gotta get rid of them. And what's the best way to do it? Tear some shit down from within, right? If you destroy, a house divided cannot stand, right? And you get this thing to where everyone is so social media driven and tribal, or not even tribal. I don't want to say tribal, bro. This shit is really cultish, cult like followings of ideologies and people and individuals, right? To where nobody's even pushing back against this. Again, white people. How do we get to this point? If 2011 was the 1 year where it was 50% or whatever, so on and so forth, why are we using 14-year-old data, right? Again, man, we have to fix this shit to where, there's some in the water ain't wet, as they say, right? Where there's clearly something, some entity or some group or some catalyst that's trying to, quote unquote, start this this civil war, man, on so many fronts. Again, racially, gender, political, hell, nationality, citizenship. You got all this shit that's being hit at the same time, and I don't think we're looking at this shit. And most importantly, again, black men are not going to lay down and be the whipping boy, okay, figuratively or literally anymore, especially in the day and age of information where we can disprove all this bullshit. So again, as a black man, don't have your black ass out here regurgitating propaganda that's just simply untrue. We went over all the numbers. It might have been one category where black men was at or over 50%. One. But all violent crime, not 50%. Be it 2019 or 2023. Disprove that. The most violent of crimes, the most vile of crimes, the most horrible thing that a person can do to another person. Black people are not even close. White people are more than double. White people, why are we not talking about the white issue and problem with violating adults and children sexually? Why are we only focusing on the gang violence when, again, there are way more rapes than murders? Okay. There are way more rapes and child violations than murders. So why do we want to skip over that and jump to, someone? Well, again, like I said, see how y'all led in justifiable homicide? Somebody still died, but the record is there just for that. Somebody lost their life, but it was justified. There are justified cases where people lose their life and they go to trial and they fight it and they lose and the juries see otherwise. Right? They just didn't have people just didn't see it that way. He had a gun, I had a gun. Somebody got to go. And the jury said, or the prosecution makes the motherfucking argument, well, he could have this and he could have that and whatever, blah, 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 and the jury say fuck guilty. Now what we know is, unfortunately, is 9 times out of 10, not 9 times out of 10, but there's a higher, much higher likelihood that if you're a black man fighting a justifiable homicide case versus a white man, and again, you can see this in the numbers where it was 60% to 30%, more than double, right? What is it telling you? Let me drop the link, man, if y'all want to come up. Remember, we got cam up policy now, man. So we're going to come up by all means, whether you agree or disagree. Please, I want somebody to disagree and come up here and give me some kind of smoke, give me some kind of pushback, disprove what I'm saying wrong. But you can't, because the numbers, the math is a math. It's mighty funny now that people don't want to. Well, I want to use my eyes. I know what I see. Well, do you see all these children that get violated? Do you see that? Of course not, right? Do you see all of these, people being forced into sex acts? Of course not, right? We can see the gang members, though. We can see the flags. We can see the Negro Jutsu. I have a problem with this argument. You can't use the exonerations when again there have been over 1 million people arrested since 1980, and you only had 6,000 exonerations. That's a poor argument to use. If we're going to talk about the math, we got to be the same thing with the math. Understand that over 50% of exonerations belong to Black people, right? But the exonerations are so small and in between and insignificant to 1 million people being arrested, more than 1 million people being in prison. You know what I'm saying? Or being convicted. What sounds like a pivot from who? What sounds like a pivot? Who's pivoting? Charles, what up, fam? Yeah, nah. And again, this is the wonderful thing about stats when you start actually getting into them and showing the black and white that you can't deny. Oh, the FBAs are pivoting. How are they pivoting? Well, about damn time, shit. Because that's the FBA shit. That's another thing, man. The FBA movement. I told y'all that was a troll movement, man. Oh shit! Shout out to the man Artifacts, man. Artifacts in the building, bro. With 10 memberships. Greatly appreciate you, brother.
That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
Salute, Miss Fantastic. Happy holidays to you and yours. Hey, I greatly appreciate you, brother. Yo, what up, man?
Hey, how you doing? Charles Gambino back over here.
My boy say he's reading the chat. What's going on with you, bro? What's up?
Good. Can you guys hear me properly?
Yeah, you loud and clear, brother. Go right ahead.
Okay, I was in the chat with you on the Just Pearly live stream where her Donovan Shop and Home Math, I think name is, and they was being really disingenuous. They're honest about with the evidence.
Yeah,
they are legitimately trying to act like, well, you're trying to equate that 50% equals 50% of a crime for Black, means 50% of the Black population are causing the crime, even though it's not impossible. It's impossible for that to happen. And Pearly Thing legit said that even if the data go against her beliefs, she said she's going to ignore the data.
She said, "Fuck the data. I know what my eyes can see." And again, that's how you know. Again, bro. It is what it is, man. Like I said, it's content strategy. But hey, that's why we got to get out here and combat the bullshit, bro.
Yes, and I was like, thinking to myself now, I'm like, you talk about violence, crime. Why not look at the mafia family, huh? Look at it in 1900, 1920, 30, and 40s. They did way more worse than the Crips and Bloods did. I mean, look what Al Capone did, for crying out loud.
Yeah. So the community, the Black. So Squib King, I highly doubt you would come up here and actually had a conversation. But no, I'm not saying the community is bad by nature. That's not what I said at all. As a matter of fact, the community, right? A very, very small percentage of the community is quote unquote bad. So what happens is we get an overrepresentation of the bad as being the whole. But again, like I said, by the numbers, if we were to do that, and we would say that all white people were child molesters and animal violators. You see what I'm saying? You see how sticky that gets, how quickly. So yeah, you gotta be careful with the propaganda and the bullshit, bro.
Sorry. Continue. I was going for me, the per capita argument relies on hypotheticals. Okay, got you. It's like per capita, it pretty much is used as pretty much a hypothetical scenario where if you get the minority, the small population of a nation makes it the majority. And that's how it works, really. Cause they always say that if
that's
black,
no, what you're talking about is scaling. So what you're talking about is scaling. So so no, per capita is per 100,000, and your contribution to the thing per 100,000 according to your versus your actual population thing. But the problem is what people don't understand is it's very, very hard to ever win in a per capita situation and setup when the other pool of people are almost 5 times what you are. So there are 4 times more white people than black people, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I think altogether it's 50% of them, and then they make up actually 58.4% of the population.
Yes.
So everybody else combined, Hispanics, black, Asian, and everybody else, right? Native Americans, Indians, whatever, all this other shit, right? Is less than fucking half of the population, right? So when you have that greater of a thing, and now you're going to compare not only them to everybody else, now you're comparing whites specifically to blacks, right?
Yeah.
So it's 4 times more than you than us. So again, you're never going to win a per capita argument because your pool is just way too big, But again, that's the shit that people been running with. And nobody's challenged it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But from what I experienced with these people, they always try to use hypothetical to prove their point. But at the same time, though, let's take just Pearl things. She was she in the past now trying to defend men by saying, even though 89% of violent crime are from men, that doesn't mean 89% of the male population in the United States or any nation doing all the crime, most of the crime. Only a small percentage of men are causing the crime. You understand what I mean by that?
Yeah, I understand. Like I said, that's what it is. That's what happens. Most criminals, so again, you don't even understand this. Shout out to you too, right? So a lot of criminals are repeat offenders.
Yes.
Rob one person. This motherfucker rob everybody. He don't just break in one house. This, you know what I'm saying? When you have a string of robberies in a neighborhood, it isn't fucking, 10 different people breaking in 10 different houses. It's 1 or maybe 2 motherfuckers that's breaking in the whole neighborhood. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you understand that shit, man, like you said, the whole, even the what I'm saying, the way criminality actually works, it's a lot more of people doing the same shit and finally getting caught. And what's being brought out now, rightfully, is that the soft on crime shit is fucking everything up because these people are getting caught and then they're being released back out into society to be menaces and terrorists, right? So
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're correct. It's just that for me now, it's like, even like 25. So it pretty much, yeah, you're correct. It's like, even though blacks, in a hypothetical, do have a higher percentage, that doesn't mean in raw numbers they're gonna be equal. If we talk about look at raw number, you have a higher chance of walking across a white man who's a rapist, a molester, a murderer.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, about a lot. Way more than you got a chance of, and that's what I'm talking about, bro. So the disparity there is like more than 3 times as much, right? So the disparity there is more than 3 times as much when you're talking about something as serious as fucking, a person being forced into a sex act or a child being violated. Why are we not focusing on that? That's way deadlier than, what I'm saying, way more prevalent than gun violence and everything else.
I mean, can I give you a simple example to prove your point?
Yeah, sure.
The Kyle Rittenhouse controversy. You know how he shot and killed a man?
Well, that was justified, bro.
Yes, you're right.
10,000% correct. Everything. Kyle Rittenhouse would have been a justifiable homicide.
Yes, and look at the guy he killed. That guy was a full-blown molester.
Child to you. Yeah. The first guy he killed was a child. Yep, exactly.
Yep. He molested, I think, several different children.
Yep. And he got convicted for definitely 1, if not 2. So he definitely got convicted of 1, but he was a repeat offender. Shout out to you for bringing that up. Yep. And people somehow, some way, motherfuckers was mad.
Yes, and And they talk about violent crime. Look at Antifa. Antifa is mostly white people doing it. And talk about the whole guy, the black man who stabbed that woman and the white woman on the bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for stars now, he was a multiple. I think he said he that was at first. He had a mental problem. Plus, he had multiple cases against him already. I think up to 25.
Yeah, they
And,
more than that. I think it was more like something like around long 30 or something like that. But either way it go, they let him back out. That was a problem.
But they always want to use that one. They want to use him as an example to represent us blacks now. But when talk about violent crime, look what happened to Donald Trump. He almost got assassinated by two different white guys. Look
Actually,
at Charlie Kirk.
Three. Well, was it 2 or 3?
Was it third? I thought it was only 2.
2. Yeah, the actual one dude shot, and then the one was at Mar-a-Lago. They caught him. He didn't get a shot off. So now 2. You're right.
And look at Charlie Kirk. He was murdered by a white man.
Hold on. Let me see. We have to be honest. Whites don't commit that many crimes. Squib King, brother, I don't know where you were. We just went through over all of the evidence and proof, brother. So yeah, you're wrong. White people commit the most sex crimes at 3 times the rate against other people and children. So what are we talking about here?
The best analogy I can get for this is like get 2 boxers. Look at the careers. If one boxer had 50 fights and another boxer would have 100 fights, and you look at 50% of the boxers got 50 fights is again champion, top rate contenders, and all that. Good fighters, right?
Yeah.
But if you get a guy who has who has 100 fights and he has, but 30% of his fights against top of contender champions, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Percentage wise, the 50%, the guy who got 50 fights is higher percentage wise, but raw number wise, getting top quality opposition, it's gonna be the guy with 100 fights. It's a mismatch. You got to use, if the guy used exact same number of fights now to do a proper comparison to see who's better.
Yeah, but like I said, man, people don't want to do that shit, man. Like I said, nobody.
You're right.
If it's not a big part of it too is the salaciousness and the lie is far more entertaining than what the truth is. And then too, like I said, you got individuals that have agendas, right? And they have this thing as to where it's just the end thing. So what's cool for white people to do now is to do what Squib King is doing right now, right? To say all of this propaganda and shit. Like, people gonna get mad when there's no need for me to get mad, bro. Again, before you got here, I showed all the evidence. The evidence is the evidence, bro. Again, and it's crazy to me how somebody that talked about data statistics and built their whole platform on and say, oh, well, fuck the data statistics. It's just how I feel. It's what I see. It's my anecdotal experience. It's my eyeballs, right? When again, no matter how many places you lived in around the earth and around the world, you've only seen less than 1% of it. Okay?
Yes. And to me, that's sorry. I'm about to say that just, to me, that's scary. To me, that really scary that someone with her got close to 2 million subscribers who get close to 3,000 to 4,000 views for while live streaming. That's scary, because she really poisoning thousands and thousands of minds, and we're gonna cause a problem later on in the future. The fact that
no, I'm trying to see something. A political assassination has nothing to do with street crimes and sexual offenses. Don't affect the nation's motherfucking capitals, niggas. Beige lives matter. Again, what makes it so bad, man, is that I mean, beige lives would mean like either a light skinned dude or black person, a person with black in them more likely than not, right? Or it could just be a troll page. At the end of the day, right? This is the problem, right? Listen, you doing all that shit, right? And you doing all that caping, and we just went over the numbers. Y'all want to talk about gang violence and how shit affects the national. I think the most important national stat and most national concern is the protection of children. If you don't, you're a dumb piece of shit. Okay. If you don't think that children, the safety of children and children not being sexually violated should be the number one, or if not, definitely one of the top concerns of the country, you're fucking too dumb and get the fuck out of my chat. Stand on that. You fucking idiot.
I'm going further. I would say they should be on a watch list.
Yes.
In my opinion, just per thing, the way she said she okay with whites being having that stat the most, come to children predation, she should be on the watch list.
Hey man, she said she's fine with it, man. She said she was fine with it, bro.
She should be on
not just the race, but the kids. That's what got me. I'm like, damn, Pearl, that's how far you willing to go? You cool with y'all, you know what I'm saying, violating these kids, these children? All right, man. She said it though.
Yeah, and that's what I say. She should be on a watch list. And what's so crazy about it is that most of her fans will agree with her, and they're men, white men. Like, don't they not understand that you pretty much give a white man a bad image? Like, don't like. I thought, and they talk about us blacks being uneducated, lazy, or just genetically stupid. But you agree with a woman who contradicts what she says now, and also known for backstabbing people as well. You not helping your case at all. I just don't understand. To me, it's just scary. It's just scary. And these people supposed to be on the right. I'm trying to be on the right, trying to be conservatives, Republicans. This is not a good image. And Christian too. A lot of them claim to be Christian, but they don't act Christ-like.
Yeah.
So to me, this is just disgusting. And like I said, like you look at historically, whites. It come to gang violence. It always been white people doing most crimes. It come to killings, murders, drug dealing, a whole enterprises, even politicians were in it too, and the most of them are white. Look at Epstein, and the Epstein file is going to show that, and most of the white men on that list, most likely, than blacks. It's just, to me, just disgusting. It's just real disgusting. And now the fact that Donovan Shop was on there trying to discredit what blacks do, or try to act like he's not black, all that, saying he's white, all that. But it's like, you care about stats, all that, and you claim being a red pill, the manosphere, all that, against feminism, against liberals. You should like step back and be unbiased. Just
it was, like I said, that was what it was supposed to be, right? Oh, pull up child abuse crimes. What do you mean by child abuse crimes, Jesse Lee? What are you saying? Because you said child abuse could be anything from whooping and spanking to actual death. So what are we saying?
It's like sexual assault. It got a very broad and vague definition.
It's like you're trying to, what's her name? Stacey Plaskett is a sister. Who is Stacey Plaskett? I don't know who that is.
Never heard.
Shout out to my man Dick Thug for the 10. Appreciate you, brother. Remember how Trump was stating how many children were abducted over the border, and white liberals were saying it wasn't true? Even Destiny. When do they gloss over this? When do they not gloss over this? I mean, appreciate you, brother, for the 10. Nah, man, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's definitely not true. You know what I mean? Again, that can't be true with the CPS cases and shit that's open against black people. It's just that, again, most of the cases aren't sexual in nature. What are we talking about here, man? And again, there's still almost 5 times more white kids than black kids. So what are you talking about? Plaskett? Okay, I haven't heard about her. I've never heard about Stacey Plaskett. I've only heard about Ghislaine Maxwell, but I'm not disputing it. So okay, that's news to me.
I mean, but that That one out of how many?
You talking about the Virgin Islands girl? Okay, I got you. Yeah, I don't know her name. I know you're talking about now. The Virgin Islands representative. Okay. Yeah, shout out to Mayo Monkey. The child abuse rate in the United States is highest among American Indian, Alaska Natives, then followed by African American victims. Yeah, but you know what? Still, all of that, and again, I mean, this is kind of fucked up. They still not fucking the kids. See, we you know how black people joke about getting hit with racetracks and belts and shoes and everything else and shit in the house or whatever. Yeah, that's fucked up. It's super duper abuse. Child abuse is not cool, right? But at the same time, corporal punishment. I think a white lady just lost her job because she worked for the state or something. She worked for some board of education or some school board or something. She just got fired because someone recorded her whooping her son on camera. She whooped him. She hit him with a belt. That thing they said 22 times, and she ended up losing her job for child abuse. I don't think it was child abuse. She whooped her child's ass. He did something out of pocket and whatever. Well, again, Jesse Lee, I got you, man. It's super duper fucked up, abortions. But again, you deleting the kid before they get here, and then sexually assaulting a child after they do get here is totally different, brother.
That's a fallacy. They call it a false equivalence fallacy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. No, it's not honorable at all, but it's definitely not as disgusting as sexually violating a live child.
And still, though,
I think you would have to agree. Again, Jesse Lee, I know you love impersonating like the real Jesse Lee. This is where you go too far. Where I don't think that he would make that argument. I don't ever think that abortions would be compared to, again, a child being sexually violated. Yeah, and of those were white men. Vast majority were white men. Mayo Monkey. Don't leave that part out.
But those can add. Sorry, I was going to add that 93.6% doesn't mean 93.6% of the whole male population of the United States of America is doing that. That's the thing, though.
It's of the offender. Shout out to you, man. It's of the offenders. That's another thing too, where people don't understand the stats. So whenever we're talking about this isn't, we're comparing the total population to the amount of criminals, right?
Yeah,
and that's the case. But in order to make the argument, you know what I'm saying, because they did it, that's the way you do it, because like I say, it's going to be in your favor. So if we compare all, the total population, which again we know is less than 5% of each population, period, that participated in criminality in the first place, right? There's 400. It's 40 some million black people. I think it says like 42 or 43 million black people. In order for you to get 10% of that, go ahead.
47, but yeah, a million blacks in America, I thought. But I could be wrong by that. I could be wrong.
Let me see. Total black population. I'm pretty sure it's like 42. But total black population. No, you're right. My bad. 48 million. 2023 is 48 million. So you're right. My bad. So, 48 million black people. Right. So in order for you to get 10% of that, you need, of course, 4 million. For you to get 1%, it'd be 400,000. There's not 400,000, you know what I'm saying, murderers or criminals or whatever fucking per year. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying when we get into this thing. So we're talking less than 5% of the population for total criminal activity. You know what I'm saying? More likely less than 3, but on the safe side, let's just say less than 5%. And somehow the total 5% of the criminal population gets spread to the 100%, as into this what they all do. Them, the blacks, and
and all so it's like it's all about context and interpretation of the data. It's what you're comparing to. And if you talk about the whole population, it'd be smaller.
Yeah, so Jesse Lee, yeah, brother. I don't think this is not a better argument, but again, a child never making it to the world, right? It's totally different than a child making it here and then being deleted, or even worse, again, a child making it here and being sexually violated as an infant or a toddler. Again, Jesse Lee, bro, just stop trying to down that hill, brother. You not gonna win this argument, dog.
Mr. Patek, can I add something to that? Can I add something? Sure. He used a wrong word. He said kill. Kill means a survival or self-defense. You mean murder. If you mean murder is taking an innocent life. So using the word. So he using the wrong word for that. In other words, now he trying to say that we it's justified.
Well, he's talking about abortion. And I said I'm gonna say it again. No, that's not the argument here. The argument is you're counting kids that were never born that can't even be counted as kids, right? So the difference is once a child, an aborted child, is not a counted child in the population, is it? Jesse Lee, remember who you're dealing with, right? So I do this for real. Let me drop you down real quick, bro. Just don't go nowhere. So Jesse Lee, you got to remember who you're dealing with here, right? So when we get FBI stats and statistics and things and so on and so forth, a child that's aborted, right? And then we don't even, again, we know black women are the only people that get abortions, but that's neither here nor there, right? So when we're talking about these crime statistics, guess what's never going to show up there? Abortions, right? So those children aren't going to count, period. So now you're creating something that's completely, totally separate and has nothing to do with the other because this is not a crime. Again, morally, you may disagree with it, but we're talking about crime here, Jesse Lee. Okay. So abortion is not a crime in 99% of cases, right? So an aborted child that never makes it to be born in the world and be counted in the citizenship, be counted in the population, is not going to even be any of the numbers compared to a child that's born and then they're violated by an adult.
I 100% agree. I personally don't believe in abortion, and the evidence shows it's a human being. But like I say, even though the evidence might prove it, and the crime stat they don't use it, it's not a factor. So
But
it's like,
yeah, so nephew, I can't go with that either, bro. No, you can't do that. So this is what I'm saying. So if this is the case, now you just killed my argument. If all numbers and stats on black people are a lie, now now I'm lying because I'm using the stats to support my argument against the fucking 1350 shit, right? So you can't do that. We can't go that far. We have to stick to where it is and use the data to your advantage because the data is just that. There is no data from current times, right? 2019 forward to even now, to where 50% of the crime is committed by black people. That's just an untrue statement. By the numbers, by the eye test, by whatever, right? It's just untrue. And you have to have some point of actual data to go by. Otherwise, it's just everybody's opinion and anecdotal experience. So this is why we can't go as far and to say all the stats are a lie, because if all the stats are a lie, well, it's just all our fucking it's all of our opinions. Yeah, we can't do that.
well, also add to that
Yeah,
as an
exactly.
example. Sorry that.
Now go ahead.
I would say that what you is that it pretty much it pretty much what like it's like equivalent of what Holtmath said on Pearl's live stream. He pretty much say that don't trust no study, at all because you don't know the methodology or who behind the study. In other words, nothing is objective. You can't use nothing to prove your case.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous, bro. Then what's the point of the fucking numbers in the first place? If everything is a lie, you know what I'm saying? Nothing means anything. And family business, I don't know who or what you are, but I don't know. But yeah, no. Yeah, for the most part, I don't know when you got here, but I showed all the numbers. So again, family business, unless you want to start off talking about white people again, violating children sexually and violating other people, enforcing other people sexually against their will, which the chat agreed upon was the most vile and most violent crime of all crimes, right? Because you can have an explanation for taking somebody's life, right? But there's never an explanation for forcing someone against anything sexually against their will, especially children. Yeah, I don't know what's funny.
Wait,
I don't know what's funny. Everything I just said. Well, of course you're not going to be on that. Of course you're not going to be on that because that's why would you not be on that? We're talking about crime, and you said this is what you said. I guess everybody got it wrong about black folks. No, I'm telling you that we need to talk about white folks and their proclivities of violating children and forcing people against their will sexually. Of course you're not on that. Let's start on that, and then we'll get to black people.
Well, for me, it's more like white people just hypocrites. They having double standards. and they just want to put all the blame on someone else now, even though most of the problems happening in the United States of America come from the majority population. It's your white people. You can't get mad at blacks for gang violence or anything like that when white people who put laws in place to have softer softer laws against criminals. You can't get mad at what at immigrants coming in, illegals immigrants coming in, when white people pushing for this type of stuff. Well, for mostly, you look at most of the you look at the high which race had the most power in government, and from white people. Most problems are caused by whites, and they don't want to change it, but they want to put all the blame on black people now because they try to use our culture, like rap culture, rap music as an example now, as proof now. But even though they don't understand that rap have multiple different genres. Sorry.
Yeah, so now my rap. So now my bad. If you're saying that, my bad, fam. My bad for misunderstanding. I agree with you on this though. I agree with this. I think that is incredibly irresponsible, immature, and unreasonable to say none of the numbers matter. But I think a lot of people just aren't studied or well enough to understand. So yeah, but when you keep going, let me see. It's funny to me that when someone tells the truth about black people and 2 + 2 = 4, black people want to say equals 5. That's funny to me. Well, no, well, we ain't got to worry about black people. I justified the numbers and solidified all the numbers today, bro. Right? I just did all the numbers today in real time. You can go back. I don't know when you came in, but I showed all the numbers. I didn't refute one thing. Whatever the number said, I took it at face value. Where black people were higher, black people were higher. Like black people were higher on murders. I took that, right? But then I showed how close black people, the parity, the difference to where it was only like 1,000 or less than 1,000 of where the parity was in murders. And then we get something as serious as rape and child violations. And there's like 3 times the rate. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to consider that, we got to consider that and hold it accountable on both points is what I'm saying. I don't have no issue and problem with where black people are higher in the crime. They're going to be higher in the crime. Just like explosive. We got to explosive devices. We know niggas ain't blowing up shit. Niggas ain't playing with no dynamite. Right? Niggas ain't burning no houses down. Right? Those aren't quote unquote black crimes. I didn't refute or say anything was a lie. Go ahead.
I'm about to say was you're right. Look at it. Look at the 1980s. Come all the mafia wars. A lot of the death came from bombings from the Irish mob, from the Italian mobs. You never heard a black gang members doing that type of stuff back in the 80s when it was like common for bombings to happen in the United States of America.
Yeah, so Jesse Lee, no, you know that too. We just went over this, so it's not even close. It's not even close to fucking 44% either. Jesse Lee, you gave me the what's the name? So I just showed you in 2019, it's damn near 25% of total. If again, we know you can never have more arrests than convictions. So we went by total arrests. Let me do it to you again, Jesse Lee. Let me pull it back up for you, brother, so you can do the math for yourself. Maybe you didn't, since you don't want to trust mine. So let's just look at it this way. Go start with 2019, right? Because 2023 doesn't give you the table. They don't have the table in 2023, but we know it's parity or it's close, right? So we're gonna show it to you again, Jesse Lee. 2019, right? Instead of the 2011, you was talking about when the 50% did exist. The total number of arrests is 618,000, 6,816,975, right? 6,816,975 total arrests. Okay. There can't be more convictions than this. Okay. Even though we know it's not going to be as many convictions as this, but let's just use it as a baseline, right? Half of this, Jesse Lee, will be 3,400,008 and something, right? I think 475 or something, right? So Jesse Lee, does this say? See, it says Black and African American. Does this even say 3 million at all? I need your answer, Jesse Lee. I need you, brother. You know how you chatting, you real good. You real, you know what I'm saying?
Can I ask something too?
Well, no, that's a problem. No. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Why you want to focus on that? We're talking about total. Now, and if you want, and I already did that. I looked at the murder numbers, right? So that's murder. Now let's go to rape though, Jesse Lee. So now Jesse Lee, just how you type the murder. Now tell us look at rape. Crimes be growing. Tell us look at rape. You see how close that is? You see how there's a what? That's like a 400 difference. That's a 400 occasional difference. 400 occurrence difference. 3650 to 4,700. I'm sorry, 4,078. That's like 400. Okay. What's the difference here? Tell us the difference here.
Ooh.
Jesse Lee, give us the disparity. Tell us how much is it. What are you talking about? No, you're not. How? Total. Jesse Lee, brother, you got brother. Total rape arrests were 16,000. What's half of 16,000, Jesse Lee? Jesse Lee, what's half of 16,000? No, in total. In total, Mayo Monkey.
What did the math per
Jesse Lee, you're purposely doing the math wrong. Jesse Lee, you're comparing the two races. You have to compare the race to the total. See, this is why I say motherfuckers can't do math. Jesse Lee, you're doing the math wrong. It will be 4,000 of the 16, not 4,000 of the 11. 4,000 will be of the total. Now, Jesse Lee, give us the 4,000 of the fucking 16, Jesse Lee. No. You're doing that wrong. See, if you're doing it that way, you're doing it wrong, Jesse Lee. You're doing it wrong. It's the total because it's not only black and white. Okay, yeah, that's not 50%. It's not 50. It's not half. A third is not half. Even better. Thank you. Thank you, Mayo Monkey. It says 70% is white. My bad. Hold on. Rape. Is it rape? Yep. Thank you, Mayo Monkey. So even better. So 70% of rapes are white. 27% are black. Jesse Lee, you good? Well, you again, Mayo Monkey just helped us out. It's not 33%, it's 26.7%. Because again, you keep trying to do the math with just between black and white. That's not the case. No, it's not.
Oh man, he's he pretty much doing the Donovan Sharp thing. We trying to push back. If there's like an issue in the black community, yes, there is an issue now, but you can't use a small number of blacks to represent majority, if not all, blacks in the community. You just don't do that.
Not Hispanic or Latino. Hispanic or Latino. Not Hispanic or Latino. Hispanic or Latino.
It's getting darker here.
Yeah, you about to go away, brother.
Yeah, hold up. Sorry, hold on. I'm outside. Florida weather. It cloudy over here in Florida.
Oh, what part of Florida you in? If you don't mind.
Oh, I'm in North Florida. Do you know where Gainesville is?
Yeah. I'm in Jacksonville.
Yep. I'm close to Gainesville. It may
Okay,
easier.
for sure.
Even though I'm from Tampa originally.
So 25% of those white numbers are Hispanic Latino. Let's see. Well, it isn't just. I mean, you got black Hispanics and Latinos too, but let's say 20%, right? So let's see. So why did they change the numbers? Hold on, let's see. Arrest ethnicity. But see now it's weird because it goes down to your total is, but then it doesn't match up with the what's name. So now it's just saying. So now that don't match up. It's not gonna match up because you got Hispanic or Latinos on both sides. They're not just Hispanic. They're Hispanic or Latino. There's black Hispanics and white Hispanics. So it's kind of what are we saying here? Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Well, Michael, that's what I'm saying. So you have both black and white Hispanic. So and it doesn't differentiate. So I mean,
But per capita isn't really a good argument at all. We should look at just the raw number and compare the raw numbers to each other. That's
yeah,
all.
yeah.
It's
Well, no, well,
hmm?
well, Jesse Lee is never going to be good, but it's nowhere near what you're trying to say. So 26 is half of 50%. So Jesse Lee, what it does is you're still trying to, push the thing of the overrepresentation, which I can understand, right? But the problem is it's still nowhere near the 50% that you're claiming. And black people don't commit 50% of the crimes. Point blank, period. No matter what, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it, right? Black people do not commit 50% of the crime. Point blank, period. Doesn't even come close. Does not come close. No, and it wasn't even a murder number. You can't just say it was a murder number. They say crime. They were saying crime. They're not saying, hold on, and I got the proof right here. Hold on. Let me find it. This is what people, everybody doing the street shit right now. Jesse Lee. Look at it, man. I got you. Got you, Jesse Lee. It's how I know. You know what I'm saying, brother? Again, I'm prepared, man. You gotta remember. All right.
How does 13% of the population commit 50% of the crimes?
What did that say, Jesse Lee? Jesse Lee, say it with me now. Say it with me. Exactly. Thank you. And we gonna say it again. Jesse Lee, we're gonna play it again, brother. Go run it back. Jesse Lee, what did they say? Did they say violent crime? Did they say drug crime? Did they say gang crime? No, they said crime. All crime.
How does 13% of the population commit 50% of the crimes?
Steven Crowder just said it. Steven Crowder just sat in that fucking barbershop and asked the same question. No, Jesse Lee. Well, words mean things. Words mean things, Jesse Lee.
Can I also add something?
Yeah, sure.
Me 13% of the population. Is he implying that all black people are doing it?
Yeah.
That's what that is. So yeah, so he pretty much doing a black and white fallacy. There's no way. No, only a small percentage of the 13% population, or the 48 million, or the 48 million blacks are doing that type of crime. So you look at like a fraction of a fraction, close to it.
Well, no, that's the problem within itself. So when you say the 14%, what you're saying is that 100% of that population is participating in the act. But that's not the case. When again, what we're talking about here are criminals. So we know criminals are their own demographic. You just take the demographics of the criminals, right? Yeah. So what happens is you have people that break the law, and then you get their information, be they male or female, be they white, black, Hispanic, Asian, so on and so forth, all the different things, right? And then you get, what do you call it? Details, right? Details of what those criminals are. So that's the false pretense within itself. Because again, we know not 100% of the of the black population is clearly not participating in criminality, just like 100% of the white population or any other population participating in criminality. Criminals participate in criminality, right?
Yeah, I agree. But I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say was every time you use that 13% 13%, they're implying all, and which I'm like, that impossible. Only a small percentage of the 13% is doing that.
Yeah.
That's to me that's my problem, because like they are trying to imply that 30% is doing it. All black people can't do that. Majority can't even do that. Not even 25% of the total black population can do it. At most, 15. No, not even 15. Maybe 5% at most. 5% at most. It's like I just don't like this. To me, it's a false. Even the claim, the numbers they're going to use it. It's just all wrong. But people that always use it.
Yeah, Jesse Lee, don't do that, bro. Don't cop that, please, Jesse Lee. No one, you saying that. Nobody else said that, Jesse Lee. I'm standing on the stats. I'm standing on the stats 10,000%. You trying to finagle them, and you trying to do everything in your power to get them to 50%, and it's never gonna happen. That's
Does
the
he know
thing,
what the
Jesse.
term racist means?
Jesse Lee, you trying your best, brother, to turn that motherfucking 33% or that 26% into 50%, brother, and it's not happening. Not gonna happen, dog. Not gonna happen.
Also, I want to add that does he know what the term racist means? Racist is a person who believes another race is superior to
Jesse,
another
I'm
race.
going back. Jesse Lee is a extreme I don't know if he black or white. I guess he a black dude, right? So he's a troll account of Jesse Lee Peterson. So he's supposed to be an extension of the Jesse Lee Peterson archetype and ideology, but he takes it even further than I think Jesse Lee would take it.
Okay, but
But
I'm like a lot of times, like for me, it's like a lot of people don't understand how to read stats, or they don't understand the meaning behind the words, and they pretty much butcher the stats and the words to pivot from actual problems. Like
yeah. Yeah, no, that's I agree. That's what I'm saying. Again, it's real easy to talk about, black on black crime or the black issues from outside the black community when again, at best you have a secondhand knowledge or you see shit on the news and so on and so forth, and you don't know the particulars or the details or the specifics, right? Just like I'll never know what's going on in Chinatown. I'll never what's going on in motherfucking, the Hispanic neighborhoods and so on and so forth. Even most white neighborhoods, I really don't know what's going on over there, right? If something happens, I hear about it on the news. But we talk about again the most violent crimes, and everybody agreed upon this. I think even Jesse Lee agreed, right? The most violent of crimes and the most vile of crimes, most despicable crimes, are crimes against children, right? We know who leads in that by far, and it's not even close. White people participate in sex crimes against children and sex crimes in general, but sex crimes against children more than 3 times the rate. So what are you talking about here? I don't want to hear shit about shit else. I'm not saying it don't matter, but again, if we're gonna, just be reasonable here and be, honest, they're 60 or 70% of those cases. So why are we talking about that? And that would be an overrepresentation still because they're only 58% of the population. So why are we talking about and we focusing on just,
I mean, Mr. Fantastic, look at the infamous murders. Most of them are white. They're more serial murder that are white than black. And
most definitely.
Or saying it's almost any, it's like they're more, so like people use King Von as an example. He's one guy you can say a serial black murderer, but there's more whites like him who actually have higher body count on average easily. Like I just don't like. It's like look to me. It just pure ignorance, stupidity, and the desperation trying to shift the blame on people when they know who the real problem is. It's like just like I was, for example, I was debating on one of Andrew Wilson's fans a couple days ago, and he was trying to push the blame on onto blacks, Muslims, all that, due to whites having a low rate, having more babies besides whites, and white women don't want to have kids with white men.
Y'all moving to the white neighborhood though. Well, Jesse Lee again. I don't. That's no longer a thing. The white neighborhood is even in 2025. I don't think there's really the white neighborhood anymore. And again, the fact of the matter, we're still saying that like as to where everywhere in the world is everywhere in the country is just a neighborhood, brother. For the most part, if you move there, if white people move here, they're just neighbors. I'm not looking at them like whatever, so on and so forth. Right? Like it's anything special, it's anything weird. You can afford the house. As a matter of fact, I think I got one of my neighbors in my cul-de-sac is white. They've been here they weren't here as long as I was here because the house was built after mine. But I say they've been here at least 10 years. And neighbors like any other neighbors. So this ideology that, at this point in time, there's a white flight or, like, nah, there really are no white neighborhoods, man. Like we gotta come on, it's 2025, fam. What are you talking about? If you can afford to buy a house, Go ahead.
uh, I'm going to just say was, remember, the United States has a nickname. Remember, it used to be called the melting pot.
Oh, it
Different
still is.
races, different ethnicities, different religions, different cultures. United States would never really a pure white, pure black, or pure anything. Always multicultural. Always has been. So it's like, well, what's the point of saying this? Are they talking about the white flight in the 1930s, 1920s? Well, which whites were doing it? Then we got the Jews, the Irish, the Italians, the Ukrainians, the Russians. I mean, the different what are he talking about? They're different. They're just so many flavors, really. So, but I don't know. Now this all the talking and all this propaganda is hurting my head. I don't like. No one know the history.
Yeah, man. Yeah, great point. But I appreciate you coming up, bro. As
Yeah.
always, man. You come up and give us some valuable information, man, and help this thing a little easier, man. So I greatly appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Childless Gambino out.
All right, man. Hey, man, I blame fucking Silent Sir, man. Y'all hitting people with the nicknames, man. Whoever wanted the link, man, the links I pinned the link. So if somebody was looking for the link, it's there. I'm waiting for it. It's a lot of talking in the chat, man, but hey, nobody's coming up. Well, I won't say mental health issues. I won't use that because we can't solidify that, justify it, or quantify it. But I will say it does definitely include a lot of repeat offenders and recidivism. So yeah. What's up, bro? What's up, Reaper? What's going on, fam?
Yo, chilling, man. I saw your video the other day on your friend Just Pearly Things, bro. That was a good job, man. Absolute bullshit. I like what you're doing now, dismantling these falsities on these stupid ass stats, bro. Did you ever discuss the 1 in 3 felon stat that she brought up?
Nah, you know what? I look for that, and you know what's crazy? Even in doing this research, Reaper.
Hmm.
So they will give you the all out number of like black men or whatever, but when you ask like white men and different things, so on and so forth, it's not there. So a big
Okay.
reason as to why those stats don't exist. If you ask how many white men are felons, it won't. You have to literally go through and dig and whatever. If you ask how many black men are felons, it's right there. Approximately 13%. I think they say 1 in 3 black men under the age of 25 have been arrested or some shit. So all that shit is prevalent and right there. But if you ask the same thing for white men, you gotta search, you gotta dig. So
Yeah.
let me see.
I'll help you out right now, bro. So I looked it up, right? Because that shit got me mad. I'm like, that number sounds like some bullshit. So I looked it up, and there's an article by PolitiFact, the Pointer Institute, right? Because your man Bernie Sanders tried to use the stat before, right? I guess when he was running, he said that 1 in 4 black men will be locked up, whatever, right? And PolitiFact just like it dismantled that and the 1 in 3 stat. So just according to them, I'll try to read it real quick. I don't want to bore you guys too much. It said we hadn't heard a 1 in 4 statistic exactly how Sanders said it, so we decided to check it. Sanders' campaign spokesperson sent us 3 sources: one Gallup poll from 2013, a 2003 report from the Justice Department Bureau of Justice Statistics, and a 2018 report from the Sentencing Project, an organization that advocates for criminal justice. Keynotes: none of these sources directly back up this claim, though they do speak to disparities in the treatment African Americans receive in the justice system. And then if you just scroll a little bit down, they said essentially here, the report that basically, sorry, the best support for Sanders' claim is a 2003 report from the Justice Department. The second source that Sanders' campaign sent us is said the report estimated that black men born in 2001 had a 32.2% chance of going to prison during their lifetime based on incarceration rates at that time. Then it said, essentially said the 1 in 3 imprisonment stat is about 16 years old. But since 2003, imprisonment rates of black men have declined, lending more credence to what Sanders laid out, blah, blah, blah. And also before that said, it's estimated that 681,000 black men aged 18 to 34 in 2001 have been incarcerated in state and federal prisons during their lifetimes. Census data shows there were about 4.3 black men in that age group of 2000, which would actually put the imprisonment rate at around 15.7. So the stats are all over the place, and they don't even back up this 1 in 3 claim. That's why not you, I'm just saying in general, when people say certain stats like that, so salute to the lead attorney for questioning her. It's like, where did you get this from? Because many times they'll say, oh, well, this report has it. And then when you go to the report doesn't reference it. So it's almost like, I don't know how to put it. I don't know what the right word is, but it's almost like empty references where it's like, oh, it said it here, and then you trace it. Oh, it said it here, then it
Yeah,
traces.
exactly. Yeah, you
Right.
don't when you actually when you it's like go like say ghost stats, right? So a
Go
person will make
stat.
a claim and it'll be a headline, but like you said, when you actually go into reading the thing, it's just like when black women made the claim about being the most educated, right?
Hmm.
You go and actually look in the study, and it's nowhere in the study, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
people rarely go challenge the study. And to your point, right? So I'm doing this right now. Percentage of white men with felonies. You know what comes up, Reaper? All it does is tell me about black men. So if I ask you the question about percentage of white men with felonies, which will clearly be there, all it does
Right.
is juxtapose the rate of black men and what black men got going on versus just telling me what the white men with felonies are, right? Which we know
Exactly.
again, if we really actually do that, and this is purposely done, right? Because there are 5 times more. I'm sorry, almost 5 times more white men than black men, right?
Hmm.
So with that big of a fucking disparity, and we know the number of crimes and arrests and so on and so forth they commit, it would blow any of things out of the water because you got way more felons, but that's why they always use a per capita argument because again that helps your case because your pool is so much bigger and you're never gonna lose a per capita argument when you have numbers by that much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And on positive.
But and here's the thing too. You guys were pointing about it, talking about it, right? Like, and I always wanted to say this. It's like, okay, even if you want to go by the per capita these crimes, right? But who are you guys most likely to be impacted by, right? When we talk about, mass, takedowners, I don't want to say the word, right? Today, a white man literally just got arrested for taking down two, um, I'm butchering the damn, what is it National Guards? Right next to the White House. That was a white man. You talk about the Charlie Kirk incident. You talk about all these things. Who are you most likely going to be impacted by that, or you as a white person with gang violence? When most of you guys don't live around these gangs, you don't live in. I don't even say Chicago or LA. You don't live around most of these places, but you're saying as if that's pervasive everywhere. When literally, I'm more scared about one of your teachers, somebody from a daycare who's white that might be looking over my kid or whatever, a relative, and they might grape them. They might sexual, whatever. I'm more scared of that than on the other side. So we actually have more. There should be more fear on our side about what white people can do than what black people can do to white people. Right? When I watched that Steven Crowder thing, I got so mad because he did that in a barbershop. I wouldn't say they're uneducated or unprepared. You can't say on one side that black people, the black on black violence is it's so much and it's so crazy. But then on the flip side, say that black people are the most likely to delete white people. That doesn't make any sense. You got to pick one or the other. Do we kill each other most? That means that we're not killing you as much, right? We kill ourselves as more than that, or is it the other way around? So things like that, man, is just this is why they don't challenge certain people. They don't challenge actual scholars. They don't challenge actual people who deal in statistics because it'll be a boring fight, right? Remember back in the day,
But
it
no,
was
even
fantastic on.
still, right? So no, so what's crazy is shout out to what was the name? Doctor. Somebody told me I forget. Damn, I feel bad because I forget the brother's name. But he was up on the panel, right? He was a doctor, right?
Mhm.
And he was calm, cool, demeanor, so on and so forth. And a jab was shot about, I really don't have much values in intellectuals, right? They just, they think a degree and this, all that. So basically diminishing the only, the most educated person, what I'm saying, on the panel that was a black man or whatever to say like, well, it doesn't matter, right? So it's like basically, even if you have the stats and things and so on and so forth, now we're gonna run away from stats, data, statistics, and be like, this is what I feel and this is what I see. So again, man, like I said, once you understand that's a game being played, now hey, let's all be clowns in the circus. You feel me?
Right,
Because
right.
you're not gonna beat me at that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not more entertaining than me, you're not funnier than me. So if we're gonna just be clowns and we just go, be up here for shits and giggles and make jokes and shit or just say how we feel, hey, let's just
Mhm.
put on the show. Dr. James, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, shout out to Dr. James.
And also too in that part, who's worse? The person, the black woman who, because she loves to attack black women. the black woman who's around other black people, and I'm not saying that's the only people she could date, but she's more likely to date those black people, right? Let's just play in Pearl's world, right? Who's worse, the person who lives amongst black men, the woman that lives amongst black men and goes out with what she's around, or the person who lives outside the skirts, who doesn't live near black people, these black people criminals, and literally goes and seeks them? The beginning of her platform was what? Her going around and trying to interview rappers and do the whole whatever thing. Then she got with the angry man, whatever that guy's name, facial, whatever that thing is, that guy's name is. Not saying he's a criminal, but you sought those people.
Oh, angry reactions.
Angry reactions, right? So who's worse, the person who's dating what's around them, or the person who's seeking that, knowing that, or in her head, knowing that black people are so-called criminals, whatever? I would actually advocate that you're worse. Those people, I'm gonna say forced, but they're more likely to be around those people. So there's just so many angles to take with it, but we understand, like you said, man, it's a grift. It's just, and suit to TLA, because like it's like once you ask a simple question, where you get your stats from? She's trying to like search it up on a computer, and she's all, and she's like, oh, I thought we were gonna talk about. It's like, come on, dogs.
Yeah, she tried. Like I said, once she got, what I mean, once that question was asked, she got pinned down. She had to, she had to run from it. Well, I didn't really come here to talk about that. Well, no, motherfucker,
I'm
you
sorry, my
said you
bad, my
wanted to
bad.
talk about. So nah, it's cool. But nah, man, you got anything else?
No, man. I'll be in the background, bro. I appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro.
Peace, peace.
Again, man. Yeah. At the end of the day, people, listen. This platform is for the protection and projection of positive images of straight black men. So I cannot sit idly by anymore and allow these lies to be spewed. That's clearly and easily refutable. Okay. This is not 2011. This is 2025. Okay. I just went through and showed all of the stats. I just went through and showed all of the information, all of the data that's provided by the same thing that y'all based this off of 14 years ago. Okay. All right. So, what do you mean? What really happened? What really happened with what? At the end of the day, man, listen, we can kill this today. Black man, don't allow this lie to be told around you. Challenge a motherfucker. Where are the stats at? Where? Show it to me. Show me the stats. Don't tell me the stats. Give me the motherfucking source of where you can show me that the fucking 13%, which is not even 13% anymore, it's 14%. Okay. 14% of the population is committing 50% of the crime. Not violent crime, the crime. Because it still wouldn't be violent crime. Because again, if you want to say violent crime includes sex crimes. And when there's only a 400 difference to 1,000 difference in murders, and then we have more than double to sex crimes, who's going to be on the? And again, it's not just white people and black people. Okay. But hey, man, I'm the nigga that hate the niggas. You don't like black people. That's who I am, man. I don't know how many times. Silent Sir, hey, you still here? Silent Sir, you still in the building? Or any other A1 Day One. How many times we done did this now, y'all? This this is the first time us doing this, directly challenging the thing. But how many times have we went through the numbers of the shit that white people do versus, you feel me? It's just crazy to me. Oh shit, did I miss one? Oh shit, hold on. Shout out to my man, Big Draws. Oh, my bad, brother. I missed your super chat earlier. 2024 total U.S. population 340 million, homicides with 17K, all groups together. Where's the fear coming from? 0.000005% is all hyperbolic. Yeah, I agree with you of it being like nominal, right? Because, and again, we're never going to get rid of all murders. There's never going to be a perfect society where no one gets murdered. But, it's a conversation that needs to be had. People feel needs to be had because, nobody wants to be killed. Shout out to Reaper Wells for the 5. Really appreciate it. Good show. Fantastic. Keep doing your thing. Hey, man, brother, I'm going to try. Yeah, man. Hey, appreciate you, bro. Hey, appreciate y'all. Again, man, like I said, motherfuckers that see me on other people's shit, right? And never come over here because they hate me so much, right? They don't want to fucking, see what it is, man. We do this shit. Again, shout out to Medium, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's way more official than with a referee whistle than me. You know what I mean? The brother certified and all this everything. That's his wheelhouse. That's his expertise. But before he even came around, we was doing this shit, right? With this, but we went over these numbers. I want to say what 4 years ago, right? And a lot of different things, man. So again, straight black man, bro. Do not allow yourself to be motherfucking played with, dog. All right. Your image is everything, my nigga. All right. Your reputation is everything. Niggas kill and die over that. So protect it with your life because it literally is. So when you see these goofy ass motherfuckers out here, all right, just quoting that shit, and I promise you, 9 times out of 10, that's somebody with a motherfucking with the with the mental death of a damn Coke bottle cap. All right, bro, challenge it and watch them look stupid. Just watch them look stupid. But anyway, man, hey, Miss Fantastic 824 on all social media platforms. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. All right, the video. Please, man. Be safe, have fun, enjoy your family if you celebrate. If not, hey, nigga, hey, it's another day. Be thankful for that. But just be careful, man. You know what I mean? And we'll see y'all. I ain't gonna say Friday, but we'll see y'all before the week's out. Anyway, man, hey, have a great one, mom. I'm out.